Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Rock and Roll Confessional. Good to hear. Well, we can't hear you. We can't see you, but it's good to have you with us today. How's that?
Good to know you're here with us.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Good to know you're here with us. This episode is with rock and roll legend Buck Dharma of Blue Oyster Cult. The band started as BOC in 1967. It's been releasing albums and touring since then. They have a new album titled Ghost Stories, which features rare and unreleased music as far back as the late 70s. These songs, for the most part, were never officially released and have been sitting in a vault since they were originally performed.
Now, with the help of AI, amazingly, the music has been cleaned up and put onto this one special album. Buck is one of the original founding members, guitarist, and vocalist, and performed such hits as Don't Fear the Reaper, Godzilla, Burning For You, and so many others. He shares his history with the band along with his insight on how this album was actually created. So let's do it. Here we go. It's our interview with the original founding member of Blue Oyster Cult, Buck Dharma.
It's nice to meet you, Buck Dharma.
Well, thank you. It's nice to meet all of you. You got it.
I'm Rita.
Rita.
And I'm CW.
CW West was our promotion director at KLOS for, 25 years. And I was on air and program director and music director there for 27 years, I think. So,
yeah.
You guys did a show for KLOS many, many years ago.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
I'm trying to remember who that was with. It was at the Pacific Amphitheater. And I was trying to remember who else
so was I.
played, but I totally spaced out on it.
Yeah, I can tell you. I'm lucky I remember anything from those days.
Well, congratulations on a new album. Blue Oyster Cult album is in stores on April 14th called The Ghost Stories. Was it weird for you going back to recordings like 30, 40 years ago? Did you have your own kind of ghost stories listening to some of those tracks?
Well, it's immediately nostalgic because it's all the original members, including Alan Lanier, who's gone now. So it's to hear the band playing songs which I hadn't heard them play since we did them at the time. It's a sweet feeling actually to hear the old band together again.
Mm-hmm.
Were they recorded during the regular sessions?
It was recorded during the pre-production sessions for the albums that were made during that time period.
And were they just songs that you're like, we don't feel like they fit the album, or there's some reason we don't need to put them on here?
Mostly we had to make a cut because vinyl in those days had a time limitation. You could only fit maximum about 40 minutes on a LP. So we had too many songs to fit on 40 minutes. If it had been CDs in that time, they probably all would have gone on.
That's true. So they're coming out now on April 14th, Ghost Stories.
Yeah. And they weren't done in a 24-track. They were done 8-track in a pre-production setting. So then we didn't even have the master tapes laying around.
Oh, really?
Our sound engineer, George Duranius, took them with him. He worked for us for a couple of decades, and then he moved on, and he was working for a college, and now I think he's retired and living in Idaho. But he had the tapes, and he had mixed a few of them and put them on YouTube, and that's where we realized that he had them. So when the idea of this project came up, we got him to digitize them all and send them to us. So that's the way we got it.
I want to be clear that these songs, most of them were done between, was it 73 and 83, 78 and 83?
Yeah, I would say late 70s into early 80s. Yeah, probably about a 4 or 5 year period. Yeah.
Between Mirrors and the Revolution of the Night, mostly, right?
Yeah, I guess that's accurate. Yes.
Yeah. Accurate. Not a contest here.
Who knows? Nobody remembers.
Don't pin me down. Yeah, probably fans know better than I do exactly when these songs came, because a lot of them were out there for the hardcore. Not in the polished form that they are now, but certainly they'd heard cassettes or whatever other stuff.
You do quite a few cover tunes on this also, which is, I always find fascinating and interesting and how a band makes them their own.
Yeah,
One of my favorites is We Got to Get Out of This Place.
me too. Yeah. Well, I love the Animals, and we played that as a cover band too, before Blue Oyster Cult. So, again, big Eric Burden and the Animals fan, and
Yeah.
we had recorded live versions of that song already, but to have a studio version of that and also kick out the jams by the MC5 is great.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we did a good job on both of them.
Indeed. Kind of a left turn though with If I Fell.
Right. And If I Fell was not of that time period. That was more recent. We had done that when we did the DirecTV Ages of Fortune album special, and that was it was about 5 years ago, I guess, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer. I lose track of time, but that was with Kazim Sultan and the band on bass vocals. So that's something that we were originally going to use on that telecast, and because it was the Beatles, they decided not to try to clear it with whatever or something. That was the story. So we had it in the can. I said, let's put that on the record. So we're glad to do that.
Did you have to go back like to Albert or Joe or anybody to help? I don't know if you had to like re-record any parts for these songs that might have been lost or anything like that, but any of the past members needed to be brought back in for this album?
Yeah, there were two issues with the historical tapes, and one was that they were not all in good shape. Some of the tape had deteriorated, so some of the parts had to be recreated and played again, and also some were not finished. And in the case of Joe and Albert, they both contributed new tracks to the old songs to get them done. So that's the way that worked.
That's cool. I'm glad you brought them back in.
Yeah, no, yeah, we had a really good cooperative effort with all the original members that survived to get the best product we could.
Yeah. The track that I really like a lot is the only one you sing lead vocals on this album, and that's The Only Thing.
Yeah, thank you. That's like, well, I sang If I Fell, but that's the only vocal I have on the record. And that's actually an Albert Bouchard song. And at the time, he thought that my voice would be better for it than his own. So that's why I'm singing it. But again, I like that song when I hear it. It makes me feel stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us an idea, Buck, of how AI was brought into, I guess, breaking the tracks down.
Yes.
I know you didn't do it personally yourself, but I think you have an idea or an understanding of how the process worked a little bit, on layman's terms.
Yeah, well, the voodoo of it is that you could take a pre-mixed song and separate the elements with enough clarity that you can then treat the individual element differently from the other elements, and then you can mix them back together with sort of modern multi-track capability. You have more control over the individual instruments, the vocals and the drums and the bass and the guitars. The guitars are hardest to separate from the other stuff, but any kind of delineation and clarity you can get from a tape that's already been mixed is to the good. So that's the beneficiary of the music on Ghost Stories. It's because we got this tech now, which didn't exist only a couple of years ago.
One positive thing for AI, right? So far.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been studying a lot about AI, and I'm not so scared of it yet. I mean, I just don't think that machines are going to run away with their own, ideas of grandeur yet. I think the main thing about AI is that I don't think it'll ever be allowed to really tell the truth. I don't see that.
Yeah, but that's kind of the scary part too. Is that now how do we determine? When we can take your voice, Buck, and we can make you say anything we want. That's kind of scary.
That would, there's probably things I wouldn't want myself to say.
Yeah, well, of course, of course.
Especially these days.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, especially if I was in the control of it, That's
Yeah. How does it feel to have written one of the most iconic rock songs of all time? I mean, it's a legacy that will live forever.
Yeah, that's I'm sort of flabbergasted by it. Just sort of more or less, I'm very grateful and gratified. I like to see how it's kind of rippled out into the larger culture, and um, I'm happy. I only did it once, but once is enough.
Hey.
Yeah.
I think the correct me if I'm wrong, but the basis of Don't Fear the Reaper was kind of thinking about your own death at a young age. And I'm wondering, the way you look at death, has that changed? Because that was, 50 years ago that song was written?
Yeah, I mean, as far as being, concerned or afraid, no. I mean, obviously, I'm an old man now, so that worked out. But
Older.
Yeah, you look really good. You look healthy, and yeah.
well, thanks. But I
Yeah.
am, and but as a story, it's not that weird. It's just the idea that there is an afterlife, and that it actually, you can actually cross over between planes of what's here and what's there. When I say here, but now they're gone, it's not they are, it's there, it's another place. That's so it's pretty straightforward. It's just the idea that the fellow dies and and comes back to get his gal, and they go off to the other place and presumably live happily ever after.
So Buck Dharma believes in karma.
Yeah, I do, and
Yeah.
and I like to think there's more out there than what we see here. I don't
Absolutely.
know, but I'd like to think so.
Do you
Yeah.
believe in ghosts? Have you seen ghosts?
Yeah, no, you know what I think about ghosts? I think ghosts are time travelers from the future. When they come back, and it's like read only. They can only see us, but they can't really do anything. But that's what I like to think ghosts are. If you see a ghost, it's just like some tourist from the future checking in, seeing how things are.
And have you experienced it?
No, I have not myself.
Okay, just
I'm
wondering.
open to it though, just like UFOs.
Oh
We
yeah.
we've written songs about UFOs, and I think mostly from a desire to experience it, because it's certainly possible.
Hmm.
Some of those pictures from the James Webb Telescope are just phenomenal. That are looking into. It
Yeah,
just blows
yeah,
my mind.
yep, yeah. I've got a couple of them. I'm working on a song myself now, called "The End of Every Song," and I'm making a video for it, and it opens up with one of those pictures from NASA.
Ah,
A star field, a
right.
dense star field. And that's I like it.
Hmm.
So you're working on solo material now too for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I'm working
Good.
on it's one song. It's not a whole record, but it'll be out later this year.
That's
That's
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of solo albums, I thought I read something that Burning For You was going to be on your solo album. And
That was the plan. Yeah, I had written it for my solo record, and when I had a demo of it, and when Sandy Pearlman heard it, he said, "You're Blue Oyster Cult should do this," and he made a good point, and I think it probably reached a larger audience because Blue Oyster Cult did record it, and it wasn't mine. But
Blue Oyster Cult, I mean, put out some great records. Some of my favorites are like Spectres, which had Godzilla, Going Through the Motions, Are You Ready to Rock? Fire of an Unknown Origin, which you were just talking about, Burnin For You. But another one that I really loved, the song Revolution, on Revolution by Night, Shooting Stars, which you wrote with Patti Smith.
yeah, Shooting Shark, yes.
Yeah, it's like you were
Yeah.
around a bunch of interesting characters at that time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Patty had done quite a few lyrics with us. In fact, in our very early days, we thought about being Patty's backup band. Before we were
Oh, wow.
first Blue Oyster Cult record came out. So that didn't happen. But Patty and Alan were romantically involved for about 5 years. So there was a good intersection of those two personalities.
Yeah. Well, you knew Jim Carroll
Yeah,
also,
Jim Carroll was also a friend of Alan's.
and Sandy
uh,
Pearlman.
Yeah, well, Sandy, of course, was the mentor of the band and basically the creator of the whole idea of Blue Oyster Cult. as well as being the prime lyricist. So, yeah, I never would have been a professional musician without Sandy's influence. Yeah,
That's very cool.
because he sort of made it possible. He's like one of those guys that could talk you into anything, pretty much. But he recognized my latent abilities, and so convinced me to give it a shot. And we starved for about 4 years, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new album has got a great song called So Supernatural.
Yeah.
And I was watching the video, noticing there's some little interesting, let's call them Easter eggs.
Right.
And I don't want you to give everything away, but kind of give us an idea of that video and what it's about and how it, reflects the song.
Yeah, that was created by Steve Shank and Richie Castellano, and using the kind of animation tools now that are available to people at all levels of professional abilities and capabilities. So they did that, and that was a thought they had to just to not only use elements of historical footage. There's some Super 8 movies in there that came from a friend of ours who shot them in the day there, and those are like 50, 55 years old, those Super 8 films, and they've got still shots, and there's a lot of references to characters in BOC songs, Joan Crawford and things like that. I can't even list them all, but they tried to cram as many of those references in there as they could.
Yeah, if you're a fan, it's a really cool video to go watch and kind of pick out the pieces and go, oh, that was from this album, that was from over here, that was from yeah.
When you see a video, I don't know how. I grew up before video, so to me, the picture of a song is the one I create in my mind, And then when MTV happened, you remember a song from the MTV era, and you see the video in your head, So I don't know how good that is compared to your own imagination. Yeah. Insofar as you'd like somebody to keep clicking on a song and watching it again, you want the video to be interesting, so they'll see it. So it's nice if you could just get people to pick out little bits of minutia in the videos.
I've said this before on the podcast, but when I grew up, I never had MTV, so I never watched the videos. So now I go back finally when we're doing an interview or something, and I'll start watching some of the videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this and this. But I kind of like the way where my own mind would get creative and just come up with its own story that connected to it, and not have it sort of forced on you.
Yeah. I agree, CW, totally, because I like to, when I hear a song, I like to be reminded of what was going on in my life, or what that made me think of, rather than seeing a gal on the hood of a car,
Well, there could be worse things on the hood of a car.
We're talking about there.
Are there plans to tour this year?
Yes, we're doing this year. We haven't accepted any dates for 25 yet, but 24 we're definitely working. There's dates on our calendar, and there's a couple that we haven't announced yet. But if they're getting rarer, we're definitely pulling back from the relentless touring that we've done historically.
Yeah. How's it like having a normal life now? Almost.
I don't know. I mean, I got a taste of it in COVID when we were locked down.
Yeah.
And, I've been married 52 years now, and, my wife and I are not used to living together because I'm traveling so much. But
just take out the trash and don't come back.
Yeah, but we actually did fine. So it's good. Yeah. I mean, the whole ride of being in Blue Oyster Cult, being a recording artist and a, somewhat famous musician has been great. No regrets.
Yeah, excellent.
This is one of these questions that I've been sitting on for a long time, and I kind of wanted to know.
Okay.
I gotta preface it. I gotta set it up.
Yeah.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
We have The Stand, which in the book he quotes "Don't Fear the Reaper."
Right.
Then we have The Stand, the miniseries on television, and the opening shot is "Don't Fear the Reaper."
Right.
And then
face down in his food.
Yeah. And then Astronomy, there's a long version. I think this is right. There's a long version of Astronomy where Stephen King has like a whole talking part at the beginning, which I think
Yes.
wasn't on the album. It was on, maybe it was a promo or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's on the album or not, but when the Imaginos version of Astronomy was recorded, I guess Sandy approached Stephen King, who if he would do a preface, if he would set up the song with a little rap, which he did, and it was that was great that he did that. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you guys were longtime friends or anything else like that.
No, I had met him at the time of The Stand. His publisher contacted me as the writer for permission to quote the lyric. And I said, of course. I said, could I have a signed book? And he did. And I was living in Stamford, Connecticut at the time, and got a phone call saying that he was going to make an appearance at a bookstore in Stamford. And he came down. I came down to that, and he introduced me to Peter Straub, who's another author in the horror context. And I didn't know who he was at the time, and I'm kicking myself now because I'm a big fan of his books. I would have pumped his hand too. But anyway, so I did meet him in person then, and he met my wife and my then toddler. But I haven't seen him since in person. But yeah, we do know Stephen, and big fan of the body of his work. He's done some amazing stuff.
Absolutely. So Buck, the last few minutes here, we're going to do just some fun bonus round questions.
Okay. What's the capital of Honduras, right?
It's going to be a little harder than that, actually.
What is it? I don't even know.
Wait, do you know the answer?
Yeah, I do know the answer. Tegucigalpa.
Okay. What was the first concert that you went to?
That I went to? It was a triple bill of the Rascals, the Beau Brummels, and the Seeds.
Wow.
All on the same bill. And they were playing a club.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And they were all great. Every one of them. How
old were you?
I was about 18. For some reason, I didn't go to live shows when I was younger. I actually liked studio recordings. It didn't occur to me that a live performance would be better, but a lot of times it is. Yeah.
I love it. Who would you want to meet that you've never met?
I don't know. I met Ringo once, and that was great. I didn't meet any of the other Beatles. I've never seen the Rolling Stones live. I wouldn't mind to do that before they die.
This year.
Got a chance.
Yeah. So I did meet Jimi Hendrix once to shake his hand, but that's all. I met David Bowie once just to shake his hand. Hi, how you doing? I'm Buck. He goes, Buck who?
Buck Owens.
Yeah. I love all kinds of music and artists. Yeah.
What artists would you say that you like now that would kind of surprise people?
Surprise people? I like Dwight Yoakam a lot. I don't know if be a surprise.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Marty Stewart. I just watched that Marty Stewart video last night. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Are you still a Metallica fan?
Yeah. I am. I admire what they've done, as a an accomplishment too, besides, the individual stuff. I generally admire anyone who gets somewhere and just touches people in a way that it lets them be successful, even if it's not my taste, I could certainly appreciate everyone that succeeds in this business, I don't think anybody really cheats. You really have to have something to offer, to get somewhere,
Nilly vanilly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nilly vanilly. There's always one.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to any new young person getting involved in the music industry?
I know nothing about the way the music business works now. I think I wouldn't know how to promote yourself. And obviously I think you're better off if you can get some buzz on yourself, through social media or something, before you would even approach a label, who basically what does a label do now? It's just a promotional vehicle, and I don't know how you do it. I know how it used to be done, but I don't know how, I don't know how important terrestrial radio is now. I don't know.
What about the mental challenges of, wanting to do it and wanting to succeed? Because I'm sure that you were faced with some of those, questions that, am I good enough? Are we good enough? What's the legacy going to be if we have a legacy?
Yeah, well, I don't think we thought of it, philosophically that wasn't the first thing on the most important thing on our mind. It was the increments were just small and one after the other. I did very little big picture, philosophizing about it. It just sort of happened. A door would open and I would walk through it. That's the way it went.
Okay, we'll say goodbye, Buck. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Well, I wish we had more time. This has been fun.
You've been really super interesting, and good luck with the album, and good luck. I can't wait to hear this new solo stuff.
Well, good. Yeah. And I'll probably want to talk to you then.
Okay. Sounds great.
Thanks, Buck.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So cool of Buck to join us,
Oh my God. What an interesting gentleman. Had never met him before.
Yeah. I feel like I had met him, but it was one of those things. I think it was like him meeting David Bowie that he mentioned. It's like, hi, how are you?
Yeah. It could have
shake
been
your
like
hand,
that.
that's it.
we did have a KLOS show. I think it was him and George Thorogood, maybe.
I thought, nope,
Cult,
I figured it out.
Oyster Cult and
Steve Miller.
Wow.
And a comedian.
Yeah, just a really well-spoken, interesting gentleman. Very good band, and great to get some of that history. You can follow Blue Oyster Cult on social media, Facebook at Blue Oyster Cult.
And a big thanks to Jody Glissman Best for coordinating the interview. She's always great with us, and we always appreciate everything she does for us.
She is the absolute best. Thanks again, Jody.
You can also follow Buck on social media. That would be Facebook at The Buck Dharma, and Instagram is Buck Dharma Official.
The new BOC album is out now and can be streamed everywhere. You can also order the CD and purple vinyl version of Ghost Stories at blueoystercult.com.
That's right. And also check out our show notes on our website. That is rockandrollconfessional.rocks. And there you're going to find some links to things we talked about in today's show, including the tour information. They do have some dates coming up through the end of the year, plus some links to order the limited edition vinyl and some videos, including their first single off this album called So Supernatural. That's the one we talked about that has a bunch of BOC Easter eggs in it. And we've also put some great classic goodies in there also.
Excellent. Thank you to all of our supporters. We really appreciate it. It is easy to support us. If you haven't, you can please help spread the word by sharing the podcast with your friends. Also help by subscribing so as soon as the next episode comes out, you receive it. And then write a review, follow, and comment on our Instagram and Facebook posts.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful. Good times.
Yeah, excellent time, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Thanks
listen
so
to
much.
Godzilla right now.
Godzilla.
Whoa, Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Yeah, great song.
Okay.
All right,
Ready
everybody.
to rock? Yes, I am. Say what?
That's it. We're
Okay.
done. We're all good for now.
Goodbye.
We got a little bit of stuff coming up, but we're good for right now.
All right.
All right, peace out.
Just a beautiful day.